round, I believe 18.
Get ready now. Going green.
But yeah, we're at Sonoma. Of course, one of the awful things about Sonoma is the fact that, yeah, you need to slow down really. You have to really slow down to avoid overtaking the pace car. But in the meantime, 19 laps. And we'll start on pole. And we're away. Okay, easy through here. Also, Gigi Palmer was in third, in fourth and third, basically second row. Okay. Our break through here. Nice. Into the S's. I think it's honestly I think okay, I don't remember if I actually did the commentary versus Sonoma. I think I didn't, but I could be wrong. But yeah, commentator. No, we did. It was at the Toy Magical Girl World Tour, like the first iteration of the Magical Girl World Tour, of the Toy Magical Girl World Tour. But yeah, lap number complete. Okay. So Watkins Glen went pretty poorly, as you might have seen. So, and this already looks like way better. Just the fact it was qualified on pole, it's 50 times better than the race out at the Glen. So yeah, and also this is the last road course for a very good while, because the next race is going to be the next road course is the Denver road course, and that one happened up until the last 5 races of the season, I believe. So I actually don't have the calendar. I do have the calendar, but I don't have it right in front of me. I actually have the drivers list. So yeah. And actually, one thing that I'm hoping here is that I do completely destroy the tires. So, okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. Almost 5 seconds. They kept from Cassidy. Actually, here's one thing that I want to say in the Watkins Glen video, but didn't because I was a little bit too busy trying to not look like a dumbass, and still happened anyway because of that penalty. But anyway, one of the things that I forgot to mention in the 2025 recap video was it's about the PSRA side of things. I did say that making that series was hell on earth, and the last couple of races were not exactly great. One thing that I mentioned in that video is the fact that 2 guys, Aubrey Garner and Danny Johnson, who was one of my drivers, by the way, at Aegis Motorsports. Yes, Aegis is a reference to Pyra Mifra. Surprise, surprise. One of the biggest complaints was about the ratings and how they're actually unfair to people that do not have the time. One thing that I forgot to mention is that another source of controversy were the performances of Jonathan Carrison. Now, basically, the way that ratings work is that if you don't know or never been in a rating series, which, well, I would assume a lot of you that follow me actually have been into one, or at least familiar with the term. But for the ones who don't, the ratings system worked like this. The week before every race, a Google Docs sheet will be posted where you can choose which rating you want to up by 1. You can up them by 1, and you can, if you're a driver, you can only have to choose the you could pick the driver only things, and if you're a team owner, you could pick both the pit crew as well as the car performances. And what happened is that Jonathan Carrison did only 5 of those things out of 32. But his team owner, Aaron Abel, actually did, I believe he's one of the team owners that did the most out of all of them. I'm pretty sure nobody did the ratings every single week. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm pretty sure at least all teams have missed at least one deadline. But basically, Carrison only did 5 ratings the entire year, and because he was being hard carried by the ratings of his team, he became a championship contender. He became one of the 4 championship contenders at the final race of the season. And of course, that the whole thing, this whole situation was fueled to the whole argument of, ratings are bullshit, because what's the point of actually have them when NR can do whatever it wants anyway, and NR does what it wants anyway. And when the final race came up, when it came time to record the final race, I was honestly praying that Carrison didn't win the championship, because if he did win the championship, outside of no one to deal with the clusterfuck that would happen post race, I'm pretty sure somebody would have asked for us to a recount of the because somebody would have asked to make the ratings public and ask for a recount, because somebody might have thought that I was rigging stuff. So yeah, unfortunately he didn't win the championship, so at least I was glad that didn't happen. But yeah, that's another thing. That's one thing that I forgot to mention in the video. So yeah. And as I stated, that whole mess is the reason, 1, I never want to do another offline league again, and number 2, even though I tried to make one with the Intrusive Criteria USA, which it lasted like 3 days, nobody signed up except for one guy, and then I said just drop it entirely and rework PC USA into the second phase of the International Tournament of Champions. And 2 is the reason why the International Tournament of Champions is a thing, because that thing was so traumatic that I decided to bring back sign-up series, and well, it worked pretty well. So yeah, in the meantime, we are about to hit 12 laps to go, and you're right now no trouble whatsoever. We've been pretty clean this entire race. I mean, this happens when you're the fastest car in the field, and all you have to do is just focus on the track ahead of you. But still, yeah. Now, I did mention once that I wanted to do a sort of a Sunlights Retailing All-Stars, but with a Formula 1 game. I originally had the idea of doing it with the 2025 mod for 2014, but then I found a I found a fantasy my career mod, always for F1 2014, that has custom teams, custom drivers, not custom real drivers, but custom teams and all that. And I thought, instead of using the 225 mod, why not use that one instead? So yeah, I might actually use that one instead of the 225 mod. Of course, that's still a long way from happening because I'm still busy with a shit ton of stuff that I have to do. But yeah. There we go. Our breakthrough here. Yeah. Okay. And honestly, at this point, I'm not even sure if I actually want to do the Formula 1 movie stuff and the Breaking Point 3. Because, I don't know. I mean, we're in 2026, we are in, well, not new game, or rather new DLC. The DLC for 2026. And, I don't know. Maybe I Breaking Point 3... The movie, I don't think so, but Breaking Point 3, maybe. I mean, that movie has been, what, 1 year since it came out, so at this point there's no real reason to delve into it. And so speaking of the movie, apparently there's going to be a sequel, so, yeah. And speaking of the DLC, since they're gonna change everything for F1 27, one thing that I really hope this time gets added, if they're actually, two things. Number one, the Switch to Unreal Engine. Now I know that that sounds like a ridiculous idea, especially that. Unreal Engine 5 has turned out to be a pretty bad engine overall, considering that not that many, only a very few games have actually gotten that one to work without serious optimization issues. Expedition 33 I can think of, Dispatch. Yes, those two games that were nominated, that were indie games, are run on Unreal Engine 5, and Sonic Racing Crossroads is also on Unreal Engine 5. But I still want them to change to Unreal 5 in the hopes to actually nail it. And the second thing is that, for the love of God, add Formula 3. At this point, they've just given up on them ever adding the 2020 extra tracks. So at least add Formula 3. The other things, I don't care. Just add Formula 3. Means I have 9 to go. And yeah, I actually don't have another topic that I want to talk about because I've already exhausted. I mean, exhausted. Those are like the two things that I want to talk about for. Well, one was a loose end, the other one was the actual thing that I had for a little while. Actually struggling to find the thing. I guess NASCAR Nexus is going pretty well. I'm having fun making that. I already said that my two bands. Actually, I have an actual thing. I asked Sonic Maniac, who's a guy that has done some paint schemes for Michael Moore's NES 35 career mode, as well as alongside BLS Jimmy, if I remember correctly, what his name was. And he's running a series called the Boner Cop series. Basically, the scope of the series is to have drivers that pretty much were stuck with no, I can't say this. Were promising drivers that got stuck into bad rides or less than subpar rides. I can think of I don't know, Elliot Sadler at Evernham. Of course, the entirety of Red Bull with Scott Speed, Brian Vickers, and I don't know who else. AJ Allmendinger for, I believe, Spire? I think Justin Hill was Spire. Basically, this. Good drivers that never really had a first shot because they were stuck with bad equipment or subpar middle of the grid equipment. And I asked them for the schedule. Why? Because I don't know. I might use it for the future series. Because he released the cars on Stana, they're public. So yeah, I make that one for the future series. Also, another thing. Yesterday I mentioned about the whole thing of, Twitter changed how DMs work, where you couldn't DM anybody unless they were following you back. Now they've changed that back, and now you can actually DM freely without problems, as long as their DMs are open. And no, 129 MyTube, the guy behind Ask Nexus, has DMs disabled, so yeah, never mind. But in the meantime, six to go. There you go. Okay, nice. Of course, we're waiting for Sunlight Lights 2002. Again, I hope that doesn't release when I am in Korea. To which this month we're supposed to do the second payment for the trip. We have to do one payment right away, a second payment in January, and the last payment a full month before the travel starts, before departure day. So yeah. Shut up. Ooh, I have no idea. I mean, whatever. You know what? I'm not even gonna talk about it. But I had 5 laps to go.
Just 5 more to go.
But yeah, next race should be Darlington. Hey. Oi. Okay. But yeah, next race should be Darlington. And I honestly have no idea if the race of Watkins Glen effectively has killed my championship outright. Actually, I'm not even going to check where Dino Papas is, or I mean, Palmer, he was 4th. If we're going to no, it was McBall actually was the championship. Palmer was second, I think. But yeah, I'll worry about that in the... Actually, here's a question. Now, one of the biggest things about the post Phoenix fall down is a question that a lot of journalists and a lot of people on Twitter asked which championship format should NASCAR adopt, and unsurprisingly, a majority of the polls where the result was the same in the majority of the polls, that being full season points. Now, the question I have is, it's a little bit different. I'm not going to ask which format of points you want, because, again, I mean, it's pretty clear everybody wants full season points. To which, by the way, that's exactly why it's not going to happen, because, you know, NASCAR, if they actually adopt full season points, then they would have to write a very, very long apology letter to Jeff Gordon, because if it wasn't for the playoffs, Gordon would have been winning some titles and not Jimmy Johnson. The question I have is, what format would you use for the point system? If you want to go back to the Latford system, to keep the current point system, or a brand new point system entirely. To which, speaking of the point system, turns out that point system is actually kind of garbage, because from what I read from people, that format pretty much aged poorly. In the sense of, it was fine when it was actually meant to, if it was fine when it was introduced, but by, you know, the last years of its existence, well, not existence, in the last years of the full season points format, it kinda sucked. No, I guess it kinda sucked. Actually, not it kinda sucked, but it kinda made, yeah, it basically sucked. Because the biggest point is that it rewarded not DNFing over anything else. The main complaint that I've read is that it, rather than, you know, promote winning and consistency, promote more like don't DNF.
Just 2 to go.
As long as you kept out of trouble, it was you're pretty much good to go. And I mean, it's technically true. I mean, Kowicki only won 2 races when he won the championship, but he managed to keep himself out of trouble more than Allison and Elliott did.
You got a slow car on the left.
And for artistic purposes, 1992 was the perfect storm that NASCAR had been wanting for like years before that. And of course, something that had been trying to replicate with the chase system to, well, not exactly much success. And of course, the biggest offender. Actually, I don't think I have enough time to say it. I don't think I have to, so I think I'm probably going to say for Darlington. But yeah, turns out that the Latford system was actually a pretty, not exactly a very good point system. So, yeah. Actually, one last thing. I actually asked myself if. Well, it would have been a point system in which Ryan Newman won the championship in 2003, and I found out a post on Reddit that basically said, no, it was either going to be Kenseth or Jimmy Johnson in a good chunk of the point systems used in other series, including the new one that NASCAR has been using currently, except for IndyCar. If NASCAR had the IndyCar system, yeah, Newman would have absolutely won. And comment said, it's almost as if the IndyCar point system works both winning and consistency. Which is actually the sweet... Actually, never mind, I'm gonna say it. And we're not gonna let anybody, but doesn't matter because we are going to win at Sonoma. Okay.
You won! I don't care what they say about you. You're okay in my book.
Okay, stop the car. Pretty goofy, but doesn't matter. Accelerate. And the Republicans finished 8th, so Cassidy finished 2nd, Palmer 3rd, Eckert 4th, Underwood 5th, Anderson Jr. 6th, GT Rock 7th, Dinner Pop was in 8th, Miller in 9th, and Cochrane in 10th. Let me check. So Sharon finished 24th, Cynthia 26th, Riley 28th, Via 35th, and yeah, and Austin finished last. So, yeah, there's Cassidy and Palmer. And, well, I guess let's check out the standings after the race, shall we? And so, Gigi Palmer is now the new championship leader, 10 points clear of McBob. General Papuas is in 3rd. We are now 39 points behind Palmer. So, we are effectively... win less 1 point basically from the lead. Cochrane is in 5th, Underwood is 6th, Ibrahimian is 7th, Anderson 8th, Cassidy is now 9th, and Daniel Walsh drops to 10th. Mitchell Hodak still last car, and biggest winner are going to be Johnny Reyes and Holly Anderson Jr. with 2 positions gained, and biggest losers are Bradley Ream and Fia, who all lost 2 positions. Yeah, so next race is hold on a minute, it should be Darlington. Okay, where it is? Oh wait, yeah, it's next. Where it is? Okay, there we go. So next race is Darlington. Then we got Pensacola. So that's a good point. That's a really good. So if I keep myself out of trouble, I should be able to get more points, and of course the later crash out. To which. That's kind of what happened to Race Cartel USA, but then you know, I ended up not doing well in the last couple in the races after that race of Pensacola, because you know I cannot have more than 2 consecutive good weekends. I need to have 1 good race and an awful race. And after that, we got the after Pensacola. There's only 10 races left, and then we got Chicagoland, Michigan, Kansas, Texas, Talladega, and the Denver road course. The last road course of the season is around 26. So, yeah, the last 5 rounds. But anyway, this has been it for this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you see more content like this, hit subscribe, click the notification bell to get it the next show drops. And I have nothing else to say other than see you next video, everybody. This is Alpha, signing out.